Dungeons and Dragons.
And junk drawer.
Twitch, is that you?
Sheesh.
Twitch? Chat?
I missed
Is that
you.
you?
Oh my god, are we back?
Holy fuck, I think we're back.
I've
Shit.
been sitting at
Damn
this
it.
desk
Holy
for
shit.
I gotta stop cussing, so we're gonna get demonetized with all that money we make.
Guys, welcome back to a new episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer.
Ding.
We are back. We will continue to be back after our brief hiatus. You guys can blame me. I now have a 4-month-old daughter, so that is, you can be happy for me and sad all at the same time. It's great.
Happy sad.
We are going to streamline things tonight and a little bit moving forward, so our intros will be a little different. I'm going to handle our shout-outs. We're going to give one special shout-out together, and then I'll recap the episode before we get into tonight's shenanigans. I would like to shout out Roll20. I'd love to shout out our team here at the Junk Drawer Show. I'd love to be able to shout out anything on the Junk Drawer Show, any social media platform. Follow us there. You can see us Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, which we may get back to at some point in time. Who's to say, really? I would also like to shout out our friends over at REP RPG. Did I do that right? Is that
Rep RPG.
Yeah, REP RPG.
R.I.P.
Rip.
RPG.
RIP. For being friends with us or whatever. Carlos is with them tonight. As you can see, this is going to be a Thor Loki adventure. With all of that being said, before we get into recaps, Josh, do you have a very special announcement you'd like to make?
Yes. As someone who believes very, very deeply in tradition and that things that have always been should always be and that change should never happen because it's scary and you can fail, I'd like to continue the tradition that we've had since I believe day 1 of Campaign 2 and tell Donovan to go fuck yourself. And that comes from here.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Know that when I say it, I mean it.
I mean it.
Remember
Remember that time you pulled a knife on my cousin? What? Bye.
All right, so we're going to just put a pin in that real quick. So, when we last left off with Thor and Loki specifically, they were getting ready to go to the fishing town of Sherbo Wharf, Sherbo Wharf, to see what was going on. There's some fishing line food issues. The town is not getting food or supplies sent to it. So Thor and Loki have decided to split up from Alder and Thok and go check out what's going on. They will later converge north in a forest that has yet to be named, I believe, to see if they can track down what screeching entity is going on in that forest. There is a lot to be said between Thor and Loki. They have not been together alone for quite some time now, since before Thor's disappearance. So a lot has happened in over 900 years. When we last saw Loki, he was with Thok, and they managed to get a gate, some form of gate, cubic gate, that's what it's called, from Maddie, someone who knows Thor, and they also got a ring of regeneration. You can kind of piece together what that might be for, but with all of that being said, we're walking towards the Wandering Rose, getting ready to disembark. Dice Daddy, whenever you're ready.
Whew. It's been a hot minute. Okay. So, as you are gathering your supplies and your, essentially, you're going on a 2-week journey to Sherbo Wharf. From what you understand, at least from what the cartographers and what you've heard from the inlands, I'll say that you get information to the Isle of Storms. The ride seems fairly mellow. Not a whole lot of known storms or known pressure systems coming in. That's going to make this an unpleasant trip. The crew of the Wandering Rose are currently stocking full of food, wines, what have you, what they normally have in a traveling. Uh, wow, it's been a hot minute. Traveling pleasure cruise. um,
Sexy time bow.
Sexy
sail.
time boat, a sex speedboat, if you will. So the two of you, I'm going to assume, are going on at different times. Um, I know that Thor, you had someone you wanted to also bring on. I believe you wanted to try to bring Valdana on the trip with you,
Yes,
if I remember
she
correctly.
agreed to come with us on the boat. So our party is Thor, Loki, Valdana, and Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Double date.
Yvonne is whoa. I'm married. Uh, Yvonne is staying back with Heracles,
Mm-hmm.
and they are going to watch the island.
Perfect. So, like I said, I believe you two are most likely going to be boarding at different times. Loki, I want to assume you would be on there like the minute Creed's on her boat.
Yeah, I
Is that a
remember
fair assumption?
probably because we were Thok and I were running at the end, right?
No, Thok and Tiburon were running.
They were running. Do we?
Hmm.
I couldn't
We
watch.
did not run.
Okay, I couldn't. I couldn't watch the last like 40 minutes of.
No, you left early to go see Ned, and you were trying to talk Creed into letting Ned come on the boat, and she said no.
Okay. Did I successfully sneak Ned on the boat?
You did not.
Damn it. I was hoping Justin
wanna-
would answer yes.
He's
Do you want to
huge.
try to? Because
Oh.
you're going to be making a stealth check at disadvantage and
Is
where
there
you hide.
super
from.
disadvantage?
Yeah, it's called failing. But I want to see him try to do this. It's been a while. We haven't had a roll in 4 months. So I would like Loki, if you really want Ned on the Wandering Rose, because there's no way a wyvern on open sea in a contained unit is bad.
No, that seems
How
fine
could
to
it,
me.
what
So
could go wrong?
let's do it. 13. Wait, sneaky. 15.
At disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
How are you sneaking Ned on the boat? Describe it to me.
Stealthily.
How? You putting him on top of the deck? You trying to put him under the deck and put him through a hole in the boat? What are we doing?
Okay, so I think is there like a lifeboat somewhere off the side? Like think the
There would be
Titanic where there's one just kind of hanging on ropes.
Yes, there would be severable. I'm having a weird time talking lately. There are several lifeboats on the side of the liner. Just so you know, wyverns are large in size, and the lifeboats are most likely like medium in size
But
because they're lifeboats.
But they can hold a couple of people, and a couple of people equals one wyvern.
Where are you getting your units of measure?
Your math does not add up.
I have a chart over here that says
Show
it's
me the
okay.
Show it to me.
It's invisible. Only Lokis can see it. So just look for a storage area toward the back of the boat where people don't walk very often, and that's where I try to coerce him onto, behind some boxes, and I'd say, okay, Ned, you're not so supposed to be here, but I think it'd be fun for you and I to get some bonding time in. Would you like to come? As we're already walking toward the boat.
Roll an animal handling check.
Oh boy. 19.
And you see Ned, and Ned seems apprehensive, but still is walking with you.
Okay, yeah, I understand it's not what you're used to, but as soon as we get out there, you can just fly about. Do you like fish? I'd assume you like fish. They're living. You can eat them. Yeah. You know, like, they've got lines here, and they breathe underwater. If you take them out of the water, they die. All right, let's get going then. So I just kind of pet him, being like, I don't think you understand me. what I'm saying right now. Or more, I don't understand you. So, yeah, I'll try to get him to the back into a storage area that's not totally enclosed, but has boxes and things around.
So this is going to take several checks because getting him simply into the boat, you have to go onto the top of the deck. From the top of the deck, you need to go to the lower deck. And then from the lower deck, you need to go to the bottom of the deck. This is also a full crew, as you know, that are currently loading the ship. So there are people walking everywhere, including the quartermaster, who her name escapes me. She's the God, it's been
Isn't
so
it
long.
Anne Marie?
Marie, yes, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Hey, look at
Who-
me watching
Look at this.
stuff.
Good job.
Look at me. I'm Sandra D. Amelie is immediately gonna clock you two approaching the ship, and she goes, Loki, what is your pet doing here? One last goodbye before I assume Heracles is going to please take him away from the Wandering Rose.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to show him where I was going to be for the next, odd weeks, months. It's been a while since we got to spend a lot of time together, so I wanted him to just know where I'll be, I'll know where he is, and it'll make both of us feel a lot more comfortable.
Go ahead and roll a deception check for me, please.
I'm speaking truth.
Are you speaking truth?
I will be more comfortable if he knows where I am, because then he'll be there too.
Fuck.
You said deception?
Yes, please.
19.
You're trying to deceive. And she goes, okay, make it quick. We are leaving in about 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. And I flash a very charming smile.
And you see her and she smiles warmly. Slight eye roll because she's put up with your shit.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to
Go ahead.
making checks, just checking the boat. She wants to make sure, like, everything is loaded, she's just very busy.
Cool. So, being on this boat multiple times, I would assume I have a decent idea of the layout.
I would say so.
Okay.
You also remember there's a giant hole in the heart of the boat where the engine is.
Okay.
But that's also through Creed's room.
Yeah.
But it is the biggest, like, lower area.
Is there a storage area outside anywhere? Like back of the Titanic kind of thing?
Nothing in the regards of, like, maybe like a small shed where they keep, like, maybe several small sheds where they keep, like, the water activities. Like, we have shuffleboards, but not really shuffleboards. That's where they keep, like, extra supply, knickknacks, paddywhacks,
Okay.
glasses, that kind of thing.
So nowhere that he would fit. But
Dude.
wyverns are comfortable in heat? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So knowing roughly where the engine room is, and how big is the ship, approximately?
I mean, it's a cruiser, so it's fairly big.
Okay, am I within 500 feet of the engine room?
Give or take.
Okay, cool. I'd like to cast Dimension Door with my hand on Ned's wing, and Dimension Door 500 feet toward the engine room.
You're going with him, or you're just putting him in there?
No, together. We have to go together.
Okay, great. So, are you walking away and doing it, or you're walking, like, forward and doing it? How conspicuous are you trying to sneak your wyvern onto my ship?
Well, so we already talked to Anne-Marie, right? And that was outside the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to line up to where 500 feet is a pretty straight shot. Should I have a cantrip for this? Yeah, so I'll cast a cantrip of Minor Illusion just to make a big, like, thunder type sound out in the water. So everyone just looks that way, like away from me.
Okay.
And then when I see people turn, cast Dimension Door, which I don't believe requires anything. Yeah. Did I get that right? Yeah, it's just verbal.
I would say I would say it's a Loki like bloodline spell to do dimension door.
Yeah. So I'll just say dimension door, whisper it with him, be like, hold on, and
So you are teleported into the very large, very hot, glass cooled engine room of the Wandering Rose, and
oops.
Ned, not knowing what the fuck is going on, starts freaking the fuck out and starts thrashing like it is a small concerned place. It is with you. If you want to attempt to calm Ned down, I need a animal handling check.
Yes, I would like to attempt to calm him down. That I believe is just a 10. Yeah.
Let me. Good thing I have a Wyvern stat block up. Just from thrashing, like it's not going out to physically attack you, but it's attacking because it's freaking out. Ooh, we back, baby. We rolling high again. Miss this. Does a 25 hit?
Oof. Yep.
You get smacked in the ribs by Ned's tail, and you take about 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
Oh my god.
All right.
As it continues to
Okay.
and you see the trap doors, and it's like he's trying to stand up, but the trap doors are locked from the outside to keep the engine like mat down. So he's like
after getting smacked, I'll stand up, use command, and use the command relax on Ned, which
okay.
is a wisdom save of 17.
Okay, we'll see how the DM dice treat you today. You got a 12.
Yes.
So
Josh, remember when you were like, how do we speed the game up?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is not how.
but this is the fun stuff. Okay. And I pet him, attempting to calm him down. Say, Ned, look, I want you to come with me. I want you to go on this adventure with me and my brother. If you can't do it, that's fine. But I want you here. And I'm using speech of beast and leaf, so he understands me fully. And I put my two hands up. If you'd like to come, touch this hand. If you would like to not come, touch the right hand.
and he gently puts his head on the let's go hand, the left hand.
Okay. And I pet him, and I say, okay, you stay here. We'll be leaving soon. And as soon as we're out on the ocean, we'll get you out of here. Once we're already on, they can't say no. Okay, I'll be back. I believe I have some sort of item that will let him relax, and then I will go find people.
Okay.
I think I do have... Yeah, I've got one more mushroom, one of those mild healing mushrooms. So I'm going to just give him that as a little snack,
Okay.
and just leave it and say, okay, I'll be back soon. And then sneak out the engine room to Creed's room, and then try not to get caught there.
I will say Creed is not in a room, so you like put the rug back over, and you're like, okay, there isn't a wyvern in the engine room, the very fragile engine room. Everything's fine. We're fine. I'm so charming. And you sneak out successfully. Where are you heading to?
The main hall, where all the food and the drinks are. Just a nice common area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while we have this super fun adventure, Thor, where are you in particular as we ship out?
I would be saying goodbye to Heracles and Ivan, just making sure they understand their duties or and all of that while we're gone. I would also see if Heracles knew of anyone who could transport like 20 to 25 workers to Ashford to be able to speed up the process of creating the rocket.
You talk to Heracles and he goes, I can find. I'm sure I can find some tough guys. When you get back, if you need me over there, I mean, I can help.
I'd feel more comfortable with you here, but if we get some of those guys over there, maybe even Ivan, if he's willing to commute, we just need that rocket sooner than later, for bad stuff, killing items.
I'm very familiar with Nidavellir. You want a god slaying weapon, I understand.
It's the place to go. So I have either you or Ivan be here, but one of you can go with that group. I would prefer if it was someone magical teleported you there, just to be able to speed up the process a little bit.
Teleport. I mean, your wolf friend, your elf friend, the wood elf, he's gone, right?
Yeah, he left. So
shit.
There.
We'll figure it out.
Vindrin's on the island, so she has some tricks she might be able to pull out of her hat.
That's true. I don't know if I've heard of a dragon teleport, but I haven't heard of a dragon not teleport things before. So,
she's got more secrets than I know. And I'll lean in and kind of embrace him and just be like, be safe.
Hey, don't do anything stupid.
I only do stupid things. I don't know what you mean.
Oof. Does that mean I'm the smarter cousin?
No,
Am I getting smarter?
I was kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah, well. You were always the brains. I was always the brawn.
Whoa.
Which was bad.
I take offense to that.
You should. Baby arms.
Baby arm? How dare you?
And he hugs you back. He goes, I'll take care of it. I've been taking care of it while you're away. What's another 2 weeks, 4 weeks?
I really do appreciate it. For the workers' trouble, I'm going to just peel off 2,000 gold. Make sure they're reimbursed accordingly.
Yeah, will do. And you see him and he takes the purse and he immediately puts it in Ivan's hands and he's like, make sure they're paid accordingly. Mortal money.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. We had a whole city made of this. I don't get it. And I'll look over at Valdana and be like, "Are you ready?"
And you see her and she has her armor strapped on her back along with the her blade, and she goes, "Yeah, time to go back out at sea again."
Yeah. Another adventure awaits, I guess.
Yeah, you sound real confident.
I mean, last adventure I lost an arm, so not too excited.
Well, technically, didn't last adventure. You lost 3 months, and then before that, you lost an arm.
It's true. I did lose 3 months last time. I need to stop losing things on adventures. So if we could make that not a thing this time, that would be great.
And you see her, she pulls out like a little scroll and quill, and she goes, "Don't let Thor lose something on the docket." And she's miming. Like, she doesn't actually, she's like, got it.
I get it. Thank you for, no. I feel so heard and understood now. Thank you.
Well, we need to have a PR rep.
As we kind of walk towards the boat and we get into groups of thinner groups of people, I'm going to lean into Valdana and just whisper, can I tell you a secret? but you need to promise you don't share it with anyone yet.
Yeah, I can do that,
So do you know Munin? Have you seen Munin? Do you know of him? The big dog-sized raven that flies around sometimes. Maybe you
You
don't
mean
know.
you mean Paul?
His name is Munin. Yeah, but sure. He has a brother whose name is Hugin, and Hugin found me. While we were in that one place where Alder's that one, Falsera. Talos is alive.
And she just kind of looks at you. What?
Talos is alive.
Whew. The bird told you.
So Munin can talk. Hugin can only speak in phrases he's heard. And he gave me a message from Talos.
What was the message?
Essentially that he's alive. That was it. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what's going on, but he can see us. Or at least me. He knows that I have one arm. He made reference to it.
Okay.
Hugin dotted out a constellation when we spoke, and Ashford, Dremel, and Gilman Guy are trying to figure out where that constellation is.
All right.
So we're going to get Talos back. Loki doesn't know yet, so I kind of want to keep it under wraps. Older does, though.
All right. So just you, me, Alder.
Yeah.
Knows. Okay.
And Hugin, I guess.
And she kind of looks up at the boat and then back over at you, and she goes, "Are you going to be all right with your brother on board?"
Loki and I will just have to have a family chat like we used to, and we'll bury the hatchet, as it were.
All right. Just make sure you don't dismember him or do anything like that. We still need him.
Oh no, I need him alive, so I don't have any plans to kill Loki today.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I don't want to do this mission alone, so appreciate it if you didn't kill each other. And you see her, and she kind of just stands up straight and has her hands behind her back as she looks forward.
Just thought you'd like to know.
Thank you. And you see a small smile kind of cross her lips as she's kind of mulling over the information that she's received. Getting onto the boat is fairly quick and easy, and essentially
I don't have to sneak on a wyvern or do anything like that.
As you guys are coming up, Amari's like, "Huh, all right, we have Thor and Valdona. You did not see Loki anywhere. I saw him with his pet, and then I was not able to take him into consideration. He was not with you, no."
No, Loki came. He was ahead of us. He was with Ned.
If that is what the beast's name is, then yes, we.
Would I suspect that Loki tried to bring this fucking animal on the boat?
I'm not going to let you roll for it, but if you want to roll for it, you can.
I want to
roll an intelligence check at advantage for knowing your brother for 900 plus years.
I mean, my intelligence +2. Modded 18.
That motherfucker's somewhere on the boat, you think? But where?
Where could he be?
Just so you know, he's on the boat now.
Thor, please don't have the dragon on the boat. This is a very... Do you understand Jessica will kill me if the boat explodes? She will kill me, she will kill you, she will kill Loki, then she will resurrect all of us back, and then kill us again. She does not care if you are both gods, she will kill you.
Ned is on the boat. I'm just letting you know that.
Do not make me an accessory to something, please. I am going to pretend I did not hear this. Bolchance is gone.
Where?
Hi, Thor. Hi. Oh, Vardana, you are here as well. Perfect.
Where's Jessica?
Captain Creed is, she's on the main deck. I believe last time I saw her, she was with Brooke.
Okay.
Okay.
She's the only one that'll be able to get this thing off the boat.
And she smiles and she goes, I do not know what you're talking about. Please get it handled.
A pleasure as always.
And you see, and she's flushed, full of anxiety. And you see her and she's like, just kind of smacks herself with the clipboard. And Valdana goes, took that well.
I would look at Val and be like, would you like to accompany me on this journey, or you have to get settled?
No, I want to see Jessica's face when you tell her there's a dragon on her ship.
Oh, perfect. To the main deck then.
And she kind of puts her arm out for you to hook.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And she smiles as you guys go, and it doesn't take long before you see Brock is hauling different barrels, and it looks like Jessica is looking them over, and they're just kind of in some small kind of like chit-chat conversation. And Brock eventually gestures when he makes eye contact with you, gestures with his chin, and Smirk sees you and Valdana, and Creed turns around and looks at the both of you, sees the arms kind of linked, and you just see something kind of flash across her eyes before she goes, well, are you guys ready to set sail?
Almost. I just wanted to let you know that you have a stowaway.
And she looks at you and she goes, Vardana's right here, and you don't have to sneak on the ship, you know that, right? And Vardana just...
That is not who I'm referencing.
Is it your overgrown big cousin? Because I do not see him, and I'm sure I could smell him from here.
You definitely could. He is very stinky, but I love him. No, it is Loki, your boyfriend, fuck buddy, whatever you guys are. His pet is unequivocally on your ship. Just want you to know that. Do with that information what you will.
And all the humor and brightness and warmth immediately just drains from her face as she goes, excuse me? Loki, you were making your way because you were going to the common area,
You're
which
right,
would be
this
the
is
main
the fun
deck.
part.
The main deck. Now comes the fun part. Star Wars. You make your way onto the main deck, and you see your brother and your lady and all your friends just hanging out. And Jessica looks mildly annoyed and pissed as she makes eye contact with you.
Hello.
And she goes, don't hello me. Where is the fucking dragon? Where's the dragon?
I don't know what dragon you're talking about.
Where's Nate or Neat
His
or
name
whatever?
is
Oh,
Ned.
Ned.
Ned is his name.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
wyvern.
so you do know the dragon.
Oh,
You do know what the
he's-
fucking
he's
dragon
a wyvern.
is.
He's a wyvern. It's a bit of a touchy thing to call a wyvern a dragon.
It's
It
not.
Is,
They
it is,
are
it is current
related to
year.
dragons.
It is current year. I brought him to look around, see where we'd be staying. I thought about keeping him here, saw that there was nowhere that I could hide him. I thought maybe those sheds in the back, and then realized he's much too large for that. So sent him on his way, and he's, I don't know, off fishing or killing sheep. if we have sheep here?
I'm gonna lean into Jessica and just go, no.
Go ahead and roll a deception check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
His deception's so
Oh.
good though.
But I rolled bad. 11.
Loki, pretty
Yes,
please.
Yes, my sweet.
Light of my life.
This has progressed very quickly. All right.
Jewel of my soul.
Get Ned off of my fucking ship.
I can't. He's not on your ship.
Loki. And she goes up to you and she warmly puts her hands on your shoulders and gently squeezes, and she goes, I'm going to take your word for it. Because I trust you, knowing that you wouldn't bring a dangerous animal onto my ship, a wild animal, that could arguably destroy and my entire ship, my life, my livelihood is the Wandering Rose. And I know that you wouldn't do something as thoughtless and self-centered and careless, though despite what... and you look to the side, and Thor and Valdana are just shaking their heads, and Brock is also shaking his head. And she goes, despite all of the evidence against you, because I know you wouldn't be that stupid to piss me off and also endanger everyone by putting a wyvern on the Wandering Rose. It's like, I don't know, putting a wyvern on a fucking ship.
Yeah, there's really no comparison. It's just kind of a dangerous thing, right?
Not unless you have the proper maintenance for it, such as a cage, chains, temperament, a barge.
Yes, and her hands are still on my shoulders, and I reach up and I say, and I move them down to more of a hug, and I say, yes, thank you. And I go in for a hug, and as my head's next to her, I say, you didn't let me finish. He's in the ship, not on the ship. But I would love...
And
Go ahead.
she holds you tighter as you're talking.
But I would love to move him on the ship. I think that space in the back is wonderful for him. He's well trained. He can fly around. He can be our scout. We're going to need all the ammo, all the...
You are slowly starting to lose air. She's holding tighter and tighter.
all the firepower we can get. He's well trained. He's not even freaking out in the engine room right now.
And she immediately lets go of you, and she goes, he's where?
What now? And Loki just starts running toward the engine room.
And she goes, look! And she looks at you, Thor. I need you to help me to get a wyvern out of my fucking engine room, or he's gonna blow my entire ship.
Yeah, isn't that engine like super combustible?
Not only is it combustible, I mean, I'm pretty sure it hasn't killed a god, but it'd probably kill everyone on the island if it explodes.
Great. How do you want me to help? He's the one that got him down there. He's the one that can get him out.
Oh, obviously he's not listening to me.
Okay, I'll do what I can. And I will follow Creed to wherever the engine is.
And Valdana and Brock immediately just follow suit. And Jessica, Loki, what are you doing as you're running towards the engine room?
I'm just trying to get there as quickly as possible, make sure that I don't hear anything, though I do imagine if anything went wrong, we'd all be dead, so everything should be fine.
Perfect.
And what I'd like to do is, so he started running just out of, like, instinct. If I can loop around in a way that as they're walking, I just kind of come up next to them as if I'm part of their group.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. 13.
It's a little obvious as you kind of sneak to the side and then you're lightly trotting next to Valdana.
Yeah, I think we should let him stay on the ship. He'd be a great asset.
No one said that.
Oh, you heard that too? Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but they sound smart. So
They
let's
don't.
let him come with us because we're going to need everything we can get. We don't know what this is going to be.
They didn't sound smart. They put a wyvern in a room with an explosive. They sound like the dumbest person I've ever met in my life.
Well, they wouldn't have had to do that if they would have just let them do what they wanted to do in the first place.
Jessica turns around as she's walking and she goes, "Yo, how old?"
Age is just a number.
Apparently. As you all make it to the quarters, and go ahead and roll a performance check to see how you put everything back together, to see how well it looked.
11.
Everything is haphazardly put like to the corner, and then you kind of like gently try to put the rug, but the rug is all like bunched up a little bit. And Jessica looks at you, huffs. And Thor, is this the first time that you're in Jessica's quarters?
No, I've been in there once before.
That's right. So you kind of go in and you see her, and she moves and she kicks open the hatch, which is this massive hatch and there's like a jet stream of like steam that comes out, and you all look down and you see Ned kind of nestled by the engine, sleeping. But you know how like when you have like a puppy and the puppy just kind of like dumblessly teethes? It's teething on the engine, but not enough to like crunch it, but just like you could hear like the teeth kind of like scraping lightly against the glass. And you see Jessica's eyes widen as she looks over at you, Loki.
Okay, yeah, not a good look. Did not think he was still teething. I thought he was older than that. Please, just let him come. I will take him to the back of the ship. He will scout. I will feed him fish. We need we need all the help we can get where we're going.
You don't know what we need. You've never been here before.
Exactly, and that's why we need everything we have.
We need a wyvern that you've known for 2 days.
It's been more than 2 days.
Only because we were lost for 3 months, Loki.
It's still more than 2 days. That bond, for him, months, a quarter. Trust me, with all the shit that's been going on, do you not see that everything is larger than we think it is? That it's more complicated, that it's more dangerous? We need him. We need everything we can get. I will take care of him on top of the boat. You have my word.
Loki's word is about as good as not a lot of things.
Look at my eyes. You know I am telling the truth. You know I am not lying here. You know me, Creed.
How do you expect him to get out of the engine room?
The same way we got in. And with that, I hop down in there, softly, so that he stays asleep. And I just gently pet him, keep him calm. And yes, good Ned, good Ned. And I look up and say, I'm petting and I point to the back of the ship, but like, right where there won't be people because it's all storage. And I just say, Dimension door.
I will look at Creed and just say, that this is a terrible
stewardess.
idea, right? This is just the worst idea. This wyvern was with people we were fighting just days ago, or I guess months technically, but 3 months don't count for me.
I am very aware, Thor.
Oh, great. Perfect. So
I needed him out of my engine room. He was teething on the engine.
Yeah, no, I saw that. There's some nice scratches on it now, just to remember him by for, all of time.
You're not calming me down, man.
Oh, that is, you are misunderstanding my job here.
And you see her, and she closes the trap door, and she leaves her quarters. And you see that she is just beet red, and there's like a little vein on her temple.
I'm gonna turn to Valdana and just be like, well, I'm gonna get ready, and just kind of hunker down, unpack a little bit, get into something more comfortable.
And Valdana goes, yeah, that's pretty smart. I mean, we got 2 weeks, so get as comfy as we can.
And then I'll walk out of Creed's quarters to a room somewhere on the Wandering Rose.
Yep. I would say that you have like a guest quarters that Brock and Creed had put up and made up for you,
Perfect.
knowing that you were going to be on the ship for a long period of time. Okay. So, Loki, in the back storage room with everything, you're able to keep the Wyvern Ned calm, as he's a little groggy because he was napping, and he's like, as you're kind of like coaxing. A few minutes pass by before Captain Creed is there going, what the fuck are you doing?
I am preparing for the worst.
Loki, you can't just bring your pet onto my ship. You didn't even ask.
I thought it'd be easier.
No, you
ask
didn't
for
think. You
forgiveness.
thought about... That's an issue.
Look, when I ask for things, people say no. Once it's already done, they see the value of what I've done. And then they understand. So I did it. He's here. A few scuff marks on the engine. It's going to be fine. And now we have this wyvern here to help us. Who knows what we're going to see on that fishing colony? Who knew the damage that was going to happen to Valoria? We did not know what we were going into, and we still do not know what we are going into. But now we have one more ally who has fought with us, who has eaten with us. We are bonded. He is one of us. And to leave him here, all alone, is a disservice to our team. Plus, look at how cute he is. And like I
Go ahead.
kind of make him smile a little bit. Yeah, that's
Uh,
right.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Modded 20.
And she looks at you and she looks at him and she goes, sure. I guess you know what's best. And she looks at you and she goes, because he's your responsibility, I'll send a blanket and a pillow for you to sleep down here, so that way you can keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't break anything. He doesn't chew anything. Well, this is your permanent sleeping spot here on the Wandering Rose until I boot you off my ship.
Yeah, so just the first night, and then I get to come with you, or are you going to meet
And
me
she
down
immediately
there?
just heel toes as she walks out as you're talking.
And I turn to Ned and say, okay, she'll be coming here. 2 nights max.
And Ned just kind of looks at you and goes, "Brr."
Okay, 3, maybe 3.
So, God damn it, you brought the fucking wyvern on the boat.
Yes!
This is when you're like playing a Fartale game and it's like, Harvey Dent will remember that. So Jessica Creed will remember that. So is there anything else that you guys want to do while you are still in the Isle of Storm, or let's get this show rolling?
Let's get rolling,
This
baby.
boat on the ocean.
All right, Hunty. So eventually we set sail. Everyone on the Isle of Storm waves goodbye as you finally
all
go.
these people Ned would not have been with because he would have been alone.
What's that?
I said, yeah, all those people that Ned wouldn't have been with because he would have been alone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he
There's
bonded
nobody
with
else
me.
on the
He
island.
bonded with me.
I mean,
You just don't know what it's like to have a pet, Pat.
Nope. No idea.
dude, don't call Carter a pet. She's a baby. That's not
Oh.
cool.
Oh shit, that's worse than calling a wyvern a dragon.
It's close though.
Burr is close. Um, so the two of you are on the bow of the ship. You're seeing the Isle of Storms slowly fade into the distance, and in front of you, nothing but sapphire, crystal clear ocean, and 2 weeks of salt air and fresh hail.
As soon as we get far enough out, I would put the storm back up around the island.
You see it; it slowly kind of comes up from, almost like there's a fog that was circling the waters. It almost raises back up to the full sky before turning the clouds purple, and the torrential downpour begins again.
Cool.
And Jessica mans the helm as she just looks emotionally spent.
It's been a rough 10 minutes.
I would say over the course, that's been maybe about 30 minutes, especially with making sure Ned is now taken care of and comfortable and accommodated for. None of the food will be going towards Ned, just so you know, Loki, because they had outfitted this for crew, not to include a wyvern.
I will be spending most of my time learning to fish as a way to get him food.
Learning to fish, yes.
This is going to go so good. We're totally not going to kill a wyvern in 2 weeks.
No, he can fish himself like a pelican. Or what are those birds that
Are you just making things up about wyverns now?
Yeah. What are those birds that
Yeah, man.
dive into the water and grab it? Are they hawks? Is it like some kind of hawk?
I think it's a hawk of some kind.
Okay, he's a pelican hawk.
A Russell Wilson, if you will.
Yeah, he's a seahawk. Did I
Well,
get
what's
the right
a Seahawk?
reference? It was sports, so it's over my head.
Yeah, it was. Well, he's a Bronco now,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's not
So
cars or punching, I don't know it.
So the two of you are now on the Wandering Rose with your 2-week journey out to Sherbo Wharf. Ahead of you.
Gang, gang.
So, what are we looking to accomplish outside of fishing for Ned? Which is my new Bowling for Soup album.
For Ned.
At some point, I would like to, when Loki's alone, or towards the end of a night. It doesn't have to be the first night. I'd like to get a moment alone with Loki.
Okay. I'll say the first night is definitely tense between the two of you. And not only that, just the stunt that you had pulled Loki on the ship. Everyone is not incredibly happy with you. Valdana is grinning like a pig in shit, though, because she thinks this is incredibly hilarious. But everyone else is not amused of the wild animal on the ship. Jessica has been giving you cold shoulder all day. And when you're like, all right, can't wait to go, we'll have makeup, sex, or whatever. And you just get cold shouldered and you have your first lovely evening nestled up against Ned.
Bonding.
Something
Sure.
like that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Ned farts a lot.
yeah, most of the time, especially that I've made myself a pariah, will either be spent relaxing with Ned or fishing for the extraordinary amount of fish that a large wyvern needs.
I will say there are fishing nets on the vessel because it is for an emergency food source. It's usually outfitted it's a pleasure cruise. It's outfitted for barons and shit. So there are a lot of dry goods and whatnot. But yeah, let's say you have a fishing net. Jesus fucking Christ. And so it is. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna use a attack check to put the net into the water, and I'm gonna roll a fish strength check to see what you catch.
Okay. Can I cast Bless on myself?
Sure, bud.
Okay. Because that still adds the D4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yes, I'll do that. All right. Don't fail Ned now. You brought him
Ned's
into
gonna be
this.
pissed.
Okay. Attack roll? Like,
Attack roll.
straight attack roll or...
Straight attack roll.
Okay. 16.
Okay. So you successfully are able to get the net in without losing it. That was my main concern, since you're not a working class bloke. You were raised in a royal family. You did not fish for fun. You occasionally saw your brothers and Helm go out to fish, like, with, like, your dad and, like, some of the guardsmen. Like, it was a thing. And then when they're like, Loki, do you want to come? You went once and you cried. You didn't have a good time. You're like, why am I sitting on this stupid fucking boat? I don't want to. This sucks.
I like to think that as my time impersonating Dremel in the village, I learned a little bit. Like how to not lose a net.
You can know how to not lose a net, but Dremel wasn't a hunter-gatherer.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was math and shit. Everyone's like, hey, Dremel, you want to go fishing? And you fell right back into that. You're like, no. You went once as Dremel, and it ended the same way with you crying as Dremel going, this is bullshit. I fucking hate fishing. So I really hope that this journey ends with you saying, this is fucking bullshit. I hate fishing. Okay, so the fish are a lot stronger than you thought. I'm going to lower the die I used for how many fish you caught. If it was low enough, you would have gotten like 8 really good big fish. Yeah, it's a little bit more on brand. I will say you get 3 decent-sized fish, but you're out there for like hours. I'll say you're out there for a minimum of like 2 hours, and in that 2 hours, you catch 3 fish with a net.
Woo!
Every once in a while, like, Brock will check in on you. He's like, do you want me to help you? You're like, no!
No, I've
I don't
got
need
it.
your fucking... You know, you could probably
You're not
catch
my
a
dad.
lot. Not even my real dad. You're just Brock.
Wait, no, finish that. I could probably what?
He's like... And he shows you, like, this is after your first hour of catching, like, nothing. And he's like, you want to make sure that the net is parallel with the current itself. You're just kind of dunking. And if you dunk, they'll just kind of hit the net and not go in it.
Oh.
You just want to out. I thought you were smart.
I am intelligent in other ways. Not amphibian ways. No, that's not the wrong thing. God damn it. I don't know the ocean.
This is fucking
This is
bullshit.
fucking bullshit.
There's like tears welling in the sides of your eyes, and he's like, "Are you crying?" No, salt water.
Someone's cutting onions.
So these fish are fucking cutting fish onions.
I can feel it.
It's a real thing. But yes, you are eventually able to catch 3 fish per net all day, and I will say they're decent sized fish. It's not like you caught like little minnows or something. You caught like some good boys.
Like swordfish.
No, not that big.
Like daggerfish.
No. We're just gonna say like trout, even though trout are not, native to salt.
Fish, yeah, whatever they're trout. They're magic trout.
Whatever, man. You caught some fish.
This world can be whatever we want it to be.
You would
Hashtag
have.
deep.
So you catch some sea salt trout that's only native to this region. That's the first night. I'll say second night or second day. I'm going to assume, Loki, you still do your morning meditation, correct?
Yes. No longer to disguise myself, but I got into the habit of it, and it does help center myself.
I will say Loki or Thor, in the wee hours of the morning, at this point you know Loki's patterns. You've been traveling with him. You know he meditates in the morning. And you know that the most quiet and least populated on the ship is in the morning because everyone is usually either hungover from the night before or they're resting from all the work on the night before. You have the night shiftmen, which are usually occasionally Brock and maybe like 4 or 5 crew hands. Not a lot of people on the night shift unless there are torrential storms or torrential waves.
Okay, so I would like get whatever shawl, robe, thing that I have in my quarters, and I would walk up to the top deck where I know Loki would be, hammer in hand, and I would walk over to him. I would try to do it as quietly as I could.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check while Loki, what's your passive perception?
Passive.
We've never used these.
11.
Okay.
That's a 16.
You're able to sneak up, quote unquote, on Loki without him noticing. I will say with the waves and the rocking of the boat, you do not hear footsteps behind you since they are very light.
So, first thing I would do is pull back on his shoulder to put him like flat on the deck, and then place nicely, but place the hammer on top of his chest.
I would, in a Zen type state, as being pulled backwards, I would try and continue the roll to not lay on the ground.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check at disadvantage since you are surprised.
Okay. 16.
I'll say you're able to continue the momentum as you're rolling back. So Thor, instead of placing it lightly on the chest, you see him starting to roll back and you just drop and it hits the back as you're now tummy down, almost in like a belly crawl position.
Oh, this is worse.
Yeah, I mean, you overcorrected. This is tried and true Loki here. Hello, brother.
Hello, brother. Could you please let me sit up at least?
Not quite yet. Not ready for you to try and disappear or go somewhere where I don't want you to go.
You have my word. I will not disappear.
Loki, if it wasn't clear, your word means very little to me at this moment.
Okay. Then I will stay here, not making eye contact, not making a genuine connection when there's clearly things we have to work out.
There are clearly things we need to work out, and that would not get done in this conversation, brother. That would not get done here. So, hold on, I gotta get my list.
It's okay, me too. Brothers!
This is like Rufio Absidy territory all over again.
It really is.
So, I just want to have a brief tete-a-tete about some of the things that have happened while we've been together or while I've been gone. Just have a discussion. Two brothers.
Your hammer's on my lungs? Could you move it? On my legs, maybe? Something that doesn't give me the ability to speak?
I will slide it up in between his shoulder blades.
That's worse.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Wrong direction.
Oh, lungs. Lungs. I'm sorry. I got those confused with another thing. Since you're the big brain boy on the mountain. Sorry. That's my fault.
It's okay.
And I'll just sit in front of him. Just crisscross applesauce in front of him.
Okay.
So, you captured a furbolg made him go into a jar and then convinced people that he had died. You impersonated him and then convinced people that he died. And then trapped that town in a bottle. Where morally does that fall on your compass, Loki?
Right in the middle of gray.
Right. So you're not concerned now that that individual is now having difficult thoughts.
I did not realize how much damage isolation could do to a person. And with that, and I kind of tilt my head up to be able to look at him and glare into his eyes when I say isolation.
You know, one of my favorite things about you, brother, is how you think 2 steps ahead of everyone else. But you're so far ahead, you don't know what's happening behind you. You think you're following the right path, and you seldom are. You know, kind of like when you were king of Asgard for what, a day, before you fled and left our people there to die.
I did what I had to do. I
Explain.
don't remember fleeing.
And
I don't remember much.
I'll lean forward and move it towards his lower back.
Oh,
What do you mean you don't remember?
if you haven't noticed, brother, my mind has been going. It was Hercules, not Heracles, right?
Heracles is what we've been
It's how it's
calling him.
pronounced.
It's Heracles?
It's Hercules. It's Hercules, though. You pronounce it Heracles.
Okay. Heracles asked me the same thing. And I don't know. I have been trying, I have been writing in my journal. All those times you saw Dremel writing, that was real. I do not remember what happened. But I do know I never wanted to lead. But it was my home too, brother. And if I left, there was a damn good reason. I'm sorry that I failed our people. Even the people who never accepted me as one of their own. Even when I sat upon that throne that I did not want. I was met with distrust, disgust, betrayal. Perhaps I thought the best thing I could do was to get out of everyone's way. I don't know. And Loki starts to really think, see if he can remember anything. It's not there.
You know, brother, you have this sickening way of always making yourself the victim just because of where you come from. I've never treated you any differently. And I'm sure there are people that looked at you like you were not one of us. But you knew that you were. You knew that Talos, you knew that you knew that Mother believed you to be one of us. So who cares what anyone else thinks or says? You were supposed to rise up. And not only did you abandon those people, you abandoned my family. You knew about Sif, you knew about Ares, and you never told me anything. How do you defend that?
Loki takes a newly acquired breath.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You still don't know why
What?
it happened. You don't know how it happened, do you? Do you
No,
know more?
Loki.
Do you know more?
What do
That
you
she
think I
fathered him.
know?
As much as
I'm-
you can handle. As much as you want to know. I will be the villain for you.
I know she was his mother. I don't know how, and I don't know why. But there was a picture of them in Asgard. I went into the throne room alone, and I saw it.
Dude, you think you want to know the truth, Thor. You do not want to know the truth. You think you do. And he starts to tear up. And it's different than other times you've seen him tear. It's not force. He's not shoving it in your face. He's actually trying to hide it, though his arms are still a bit pinned as he was rolling. His hands were on his hips, so he's kind of trying to hit it, but he can't quite get the tear out.
His damn pockets are too tight.
Too tight. Thor, there are some things you are better off not knowing.
I need to know. Loki, this is my wife. Your sister. I have every right to know. I know Ares struck down Modi. And don't worry, he'll pay for that.
Loki's getting uncomfortable with having to reveal a truth that he truly believes Thor's better off not knowing. Thor. And Loki looks away. Nothing Lady Sif did after you were gone was willing. Nothing she did was by choice. Ares' father took what he wanted, regardless of what anyone had to say about it. And that is a picture I never wanted to put inside your mind. Because it's been inside mine.
Who is Ares' father?
The original war. And DM, if you can help me out with the name.
Excuse me. It is War. You would know both of this. You would know this to be the direct horseman and son or daughter of Lucifer. War usually comes down as a Helena of Troy. But she has been known to, if she needs an heir and she can't find a worthy male sooner, it wouldn't be unheard of to flip said script. War is whatever war needs to be.
Just gonna write War Lady.
War lady. The original war. The true war. Ares is an echo. An approximation of the true decimation that I have seen.
He's a fly that I will swat and smash the next time we meet. What of Mother?
And Loki begins to choke up, not wanting to relive the only person dying who he truly felt saw him as an Asgardian. And I think Thor could read that on his face. Loki has lost all pretense of deception at this moment. Flevlog killed her. And I watched in excruciating detail. I watched it happen. I watched her bones crack and her blood drain. And the wails. And he's truly going through a reliving of a trauma that he had hoped to forget, he had forced down inside him. And yet still trying not to make a scene. As betrayed as he feels, he still does not want to fully impart the feelings that he had to process or he had to handle onto Thor. I saw the life drain from her, and not once. Somehow, she lost her life twice in that one moment. And for all the failure that I've done, all the betrayal, all the helplessness, the most I could do was to do her the honor of not looking away. And do you the service of not forcing you to feel and live through what I have felt and what I have lived through.
You don't know what I've lived through, Loki. You found me a mess. Fallen apart, lost my mind for 900 years. You don't know what it's like to come back to this plane and know your family is dead. And then you just show up out of the blue? You don't get to tell me what I know or what you feel or that it's greater or lesser than mine. I'm sorry you had to go through this, brother. I'm sorry. I truly wish I could have been there. Maybe I could have stopped Ares. Maybe I could have convinced Modi not to fight. But I wasn't. And the only thing we can do now is make it right the only way we know how.
And that is why I found you. Do you think I was not searching for you for 900 years? That I just said, oh, okay, Thor's gone. I'm going to go saunter off and do something with turquoise. I was looking for you. The whole time. Trying to reclaim our home. And that...
Why go to Jotunheim then? Why stay in Jotunheim?
It was not the plan. The plan was to go to Jotunheim and gain the power I did not have, the power that I lacked without you or anyone else, and take revenge. But I messed up. I miscalculated. You ever wonder, I guess I can't do this. Do you ever wonder why I'm not fully myself?
And Thor kind of looks not through you, but looks at you to continue.
The frozen heart that I thought would give me the power to take down Ares and war and redeem myself in not only your eyes, our family's eyes, but my own eyes. I was wrong. And instead of multiplying my power, it decimated it. And here I am today. I thought, after hundreds of years not knowing where you are, that I had to do it on my own. And then I had no choice. But then I found you. Not you, but your body. Then I watched, and I protected. And when you were taken to Stonewall, I did what I had to do to make it inside Stonewall. I had to do something so seemingly egregious that they would take me to the same place as you. Because where you had gone, not many go to. So my options were to do the crime or to fake it. So I faked it. The bottle it's stasis. It's no different than what the Enchantress put us through. But I did not think stasis inside stasis would do what it did to Dremel. And for that I am eternally sorry. It's my burden to bear, and I truly, truly know that I did wrong. But I can't go back, and I would do it again.
And I will call the hammer to my hand, releasing Loki from his hold.
He spins around to sit up in a crisscross kind of meditation pose.
Do you wish to make things right, Loki? Truly.
If it's the last thing I do, I would like to undo all my damage.
Insight?
Go ahead and roll.
Terrible.
And
So I'm not lying.
That's a 5.
you see Thor kind of studying your face, and you can see him actively looking for any kind of microaggressions or any kind of tell that you're fooling him, because you fooled him. You fooled him so many times.
Happens a lot.
Since you were kids, and you know that look. You know that look of he wants to believe you, but he knows he shouldn't believe you.
Here. And, hold on. Let me find it. I know one way. You'll have to believe me. As soon as I can fucking find it. Do I not have it? Might have to undo that whole thing. Oh, it's a Z, isn't it? There we go. Okay. I thought it was called Cone of Truth. It's called Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth.
Yeah. So he'll sit up and in his mind it's a cone. So he's going to create a cone shape with his hand and just say Cone of Truth or Zone of Truth in Asgardian. Just in their area.
Mm-hmm.
And look into Thor again and say, If it is the last thing I do, I will make right what I have done wrong.
Really quick, I will interrupt. Thor, if you want to make the save for the cone of truth or zone of truth, you can, or you can allow it to fail, so you automatically also are implored to tell the truth.
I'll fail it on purpose.
Okay.
And I will look at Loki. You will get an opportunity to help Asgard and help our family in a way that you may not have thought possible. Hugin found me last night, and Talos is alive.
And I don't know that already, right?
You do
Yeah?
not.
Okay.
Correct. You do not.
So then a look of shock, excitement, and minus shame comes over Loki's face. He is alive. The four of us, we're all alive.
4.
Tyr's alive. I told you that. Didn't I tell you that?
I don't remember.
Okay, Loki thought he did.
Okay.
I told you, Tyr. We, not Asgard. What's the place I'm from? Jotunheim.
Jotunheim.
When I was on Jotunheim, that is how I came back. Tyr saved me, as he had time and time before. But he's alive. I don't know where. He pushed me into a portal and then went off in his own portal, but he is alive.
Ashford and Dremel are working on a map. Hugin said that Talos is being kept near a constellation. So once we figure out where that constellation is, we'll know where he is.
Do you know what
And
it
then
looks
we
like?
need... Do I remember what it looks like, DM?
Or drawing or anything?
Did you I know you have the
gave the-
original drawing, no? Or you gave that to
I thought I gave it... Well, I guess Hugin could have made another one, so I guess I would have kept the original drawing.
I would say so. Just for brevity.
Yeah, so I'll hand it over to Loki.
Do you need this?
No, I looks like chicken scratch to me.
Okay. And Loki reaches into his satchel and grabs the journal that he's been writing in and copies down the constellation. And he does it a handful of times, but if Thor's not going to take it back, he'll keep it with him. But writing it down will help him keep it in his memory.
Do you recognize it?
Do I?
You can attempt to roll an intelligence check.
Okay. Come on, big brain boy. That was outside. I wish it was inside. Oh, even better. Natural 20.
Natural 20. I will say you don't recognize the constellation because with your natural 20, you realize it's not within this galaxy.
Within this galaxy. Okay. I don't. But I am very confident it's not this galaxy. So if they are looking here, they are not in the right realm.
Can I call Ashford? He has a necklace too, right? Didn't we give him one?
Whose necklace did you give him?
I don't remember. I thought we gave him one. Maybe we didn't.
I don't think you...
I thought he made them for us.
No, they were gifts from Valdona's
Session
mom.
Zero. Oh, yeah, they were. The original ones, yeah.
Okay, so then I won't do that. I'll call Thok and have Thok tell Ashford that the galaxy they're looking for isn't the one that isn't ours. It isn't the one that we're in. So that should help a little bit, a minor.
Okay. Doc eventually does respond, and he goes, do you have an idea of what galaxy
No,
it is?
no idea.
Great. Okay. So he, with that, he definitely does reach out to Ashford, but you don't receive any further correspondence regarding that.
Cool. So then I'll just look at Loki. Don't give me a reason to distrust you, brother.
I won't.
I've been brought back to you, and you've been brought back to me. And all Father knows we could die doing this, but I don't want to die wanting to kill you.
I guess we all do change, huh?
It only took 900 years.
Better than father.
It is better than Father.
Well,
And I'll kind of throw my arm around Loki and be like, I wanted to hit you so bad.
well,
You've just got a face for it. You've got a very smarmy face.
and Loki tries to make his face even more smarmy, like, and doing that, he will subtly cast Mage Hand, put it on top of, or no, what I'll do is I'll reach my hand up and look at him and say, well, let me double your chances. And Mage Hand has been cast and reaches into Loki's satchel, and boop, 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 Glover comes up holding the Ring of Regeneration. And Loki puts his hand out so that Thor's here with both of our heads looking at Loki's right hand, with Glover standing there with the ring. This ring can bring your arm back. I know I've made many mistakes, but I hope that this can be the first. What's the opposite of a mistake?
That's what we call it, a Talos, because it's what he does, not what we do.
Okay, yes, a Talos. This can be my first Talos. And he has Glover put the ring on Thor's hand. Probably just his pinky, as he's a very large man.
He is a very large man. So you have this sweet pinky ring.
Super cool. And fun.
If my roll will work, it will take you 5 days to completely regenerate your arm to full functionality.
Okay. And Thor will look at Loki and just say, thank you, brother. You are, as always, full of surprises.
And Loki wants to do something to undercut the genuine connection and moment they're having. And he goes, you can see him go through the Rolodex, and the gears are turning like, how do I undercut
He turned
this?
into a snake.
How
He
do I
love snakes.
How do I be funny right now? But he doesn't do it, and he says, thank you, brother. Oh, the zone of truth is still on.
Fuck!
And Thor will laugh quietly to himself and just kind of walk back to his quarters. And the smile, once he passes Loki and he's kind of got his back to him, the smile fades as he's processing the information that he got through talking with Loki. And his heart weighs Heavy as still.
Okay. So, I mean, we have 2 weeks left if there's anything major you guys want to do. If not, we can move forward and get into the first part of the mission within this last 30 minutes.
Yeah, the only two things I'd be doing are
Yes.
genuinely learning to fish. I Loki wants to get good at fishing. He's trying to be a better person and wants to take care of Ned, and learning to fish is a way for him to do that, along
Okay.
with taking care of his team. And so he'll do that during the day, and at night, just lay. So the spot that Ned is staying, does it have a roof?
I will say, in order to keep things dry, it does, yes, have a roof, but it is large for stocking. So I'll say there's a retractable roof, so things can be lifted out and placed in.
Okay, so on the
If you
nights
would
that
like.
it's not
Yeah.
wet, Loki will just gaze out into the stars with Ned, creating the bond with him, and trying to do whatever he can to help Dremel and Ashford. Knowing that it's not in this galaxy, Loki's hoping that he can either remember another place or, in his mind, take the constellations and perceive them from another angle.
Okay.
Just anything he can to do his part to.
A Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
Yeah, he's trying to brain blast.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's what
Okay.
I got.
And I'll say it's not an easy task, but you start making some kind of leeway, but nothing is groundbreaking. As you're kind of charting and you're trying to figure out what the equivalent to each kind of place would be, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Thor?
Growing my arm back, talking with Val, hanging out with her. That's really it.
Okay. I will say by the first day of having your arm, it is skeletal, it is weak, the bone is not hard. It's almost like a floppy noodle. And as it progresses by the 5th day, it has enough muscle to function without any hard movements. And I will say it's not to its original muscle mass. You will have to work it out some, but you do have 2 functioning arms.
Cool. Then I will spend the rest of the time curling Mjolnir
Okay, perfect.
with just that arm.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of curls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as we are coming to that close, I'll say also Loki. Is there anything that you want to accomplish? Because I will say it's been 2 weeks. Do you want to accomplish anything with Creed, or you're keeping your distance?
I will, and we don't have to roleplay it. Just throughout the 2 weeks, continue to make efforts that's continuously get less large and more genuine and more reserved. So less joking, and by day 10, I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and then just walking, like not expecting anything to come from it, just acknowledging it and just bonding with Ned,
Okay. I'll say by the 12th night, 13th morning, you wake up, and in your arms is a tuft of red hair that is just kind of snoring softly on your chest as you are nestled up to Ned, and Creed is nestled up to you.
Did she come in the middle of the night?
Yes.
Okay. So Loki will wake up, take a deep breath, and smell the first good smell he's smelled in about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Smile, and just lay back down.
Yep. Perfect. So On that 14th day, as you make your way to Sherbo Wharf, the crystal alkaline waters start to slowly turn a little bit more brackish and greenish brown as you're getting more into inland. The waves are a little bit harsher, not to the effect of a storm, but um, a lot choppier. As you are pushing forward, you can see this coastal town quite far in the distance, but you see amongst it a ship graveyard of sunken ships. You see bows sticking out of the crests of the waves, kind of almost as if they're pillars, not even moving with said waves. They're stationary. And as you move forward and push forward, you see that some of these ships are barnacled and wrapped in seaweed. Others are smeared with what looks like old oxidized blood. And on one of the ships you see written in, you would presume, blood, it says turn around. And as that happens, for continuity, Thor, you get a message from Thok in regards to what he has found on his side mission, and you simply state back that you are preoccupied at the moment, and you will get back to him. As the once kind of light, cheery mood of the Wandering Rose goes a little bit grim as Creed immediately goes over to the helm and she begins to start navigating as the waves get choppier and choppier.
About how far from the shore are we?
I'll say you're about a mile or so out.
I would go to Creed at the helm and just be like, Captain, there's no need to navigate this treacherous water. You don't know what's under there. If you're comfortable, we could always fly you and Valdonna to the shore with Loki and I. Drop anchor here, or maybe even further out, where it would hopefully be safer.
And she looks at you and looks at Valdonna and she goes, yeah, that would work. Brock, next chain of command. Don't sink my ship. And Brock goes, all right. And you just hear the big sigh as you hear the anchor start to drop. And she goes, okay then. So how are we doing this? Loki, can you fly?
Not alone. And
Oh God!
and you just see Ned, because we've planned this. He just comes down and goes.
I want to see if Ned beefs it or not, just for my own effect. No, he got a 16, but I'm gonna say it's funny anyway. He lands and stumbles a little bit, and then you just see the arms go up, and you're like kind of coaching him. You're like Amy Poehler during Mean Girls. You're like doing it in the alleyway, like in the aisle, trying to.
Very good, very good.
And Creed goes, fuck, I'm gonna die. All right, cool. No, this is great. I mean, you have two arms now. You can do both arms now, right? And Ned is like sneaking under Creed and like putting his head under her legs to push her back on his back. No, Thor, I mean, you can stop this.
Safe travels, Captain. And I'll go over to Valdonna and just kind of grab her by the waist and take off.
And blushes slightly, and Brock goes, fuck. Okay. So the coast.
I have not been picked up. So Ned, no, me too. Ned, thank you. And I do a big jump, or like I'll misty step up to him.
Yeah. And you step on. Put your hands around Creed's waist as you kind of steer Ned, Ned is very comfortable in the air and very comfortable on his saddle. That's his safety, Ned.
Yep.
Double entendre, but not sexual. Any gay. So you're good. It's pride. I can say it. Um, upon encroaching the wharf, let me see if I can flip this real quick. Let's move whatever I had. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see. Can you just see an island? Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. That's all I need. So essentially, you are able to, amongst all of, we'll just say there's debris quite everywhere. Whoop, moving that.
Debris.
Debris. Classic debris. Um, you do see that there is a dock and a port that is completely just barren. As the 5 of you, because Ned, land. Well, 6 of you? How many of you? 5. There's 4
5.
each. Got it.
Yeah. 4
As
plus Ned.
Yes. As Ned, go ahead and roll an animal handling check. Let's see if he lands all right. As Thor, you land easy, and Val kind of, there's like a beat as you kind of are holding her, and has her hand on your forearm, and you two are like just kind of looking at each other, and then immediately after that beat, yeah, no, that was great. No, that was a good trip. Oh, good God, there's Ned. What's the what's the animal handling check?
7.
My man's doing barrel rolls, and Creed's like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna.
No, up Ned, up Ned, up Ned.
As Ned dives down into the dock, as he's a little too harsh for this landing. He breaks through the dock, and you are immediately hit with cold, brackish salt water. That go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Oh, sweet.
Oh no. 18.
18. As you kind of like are like, Nerd! Your mouth is full of this water, and it doesn't taste right. As you kind of go back up, and Ned just kind of like goes by the deck as Creed just and Thor, you can see this, and you just see one sloppy wet hand, a second sloppy wet hand of this really nicely manicured fingers push up, and you just see covered in seaweed, mascara running, looking like a wet, unhappy dog of red hair as Jessica Creed barrel army crawls.
That's what happens when you pick that brother, just so you know, for future reference. Things like this happen with him almost exclusively. I can fly on my own. I don't need...
Hello, Singer, because both of you are insufferable.
Ned is learning. Ned, it's okay.
And you see her wringing out her shirt as you are looking, and there is someone on the dock. They are a young, I would equate to a African region, so very dark skin, dark complexion. I would say maybe somewhere around like early 20s. And she looks very surprised. She's go ahead and both of you roll perception checks.
12.
15.
I'm rolling real bad right now.
It's not bad. I would say both of you are able to surmise that she is, I wouldn't say she's malnourished, but she's thinner than someone her age she would be.
Right. I would like to kind of go towards her after, like, waving hi and, like...
It's like holding
nice
a basket.
smile.
The basket just...
Hi. I'm Thor. This is Valdana, Loki, Creed, and fucking Ned.
That could be a... Yeah.
And she kind of like looks, and there's like a slight wave of confusion, and she goes, hello, are you here for the wizard, or you're here with the Tritons? You came from the sky. You will forgive my confusion.
Oh, no. We are I don't think here for any of that. We heard that this place was not getting goods, food, anything like that. We're here to assist with hopefully changing that.
And she kind of looks and she goes, yes, the wizard, Sherbo, he has been working. Um, and she goes, come, come, you must be cold. You are very wet and you look very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was fucking Ned's fault. He's not great at stuff.
Listen,
Well,
he's trying.
I do hope that fucking Ned
Yeah, that's his
is
name.
Yeah, King
that is a
Ned, you're
weird
right.
name for a pet.
I
Oh,
didn't
he's
name him.
king of fuck.
Yeah,
No, he's just fucking Ned.
And Jessica's like, I am freezing. Can we please move? And you're slowly kind of placed into, you follow this young girl into this. I would say it's less of like a small village. It's a village of approximately like, I would say like 400. So it's more of a town.
Mm.
Um, and everything is kind of more of the same. Everyone, I would say, doesn't look malnourished, but everyone is underfed. And there
They're
are
in a
a lot.
caloric deficit.
Yes. There are a lot of looks because, quite like this young lady, everyone is from a more African descent of darker skin, darker complexions.
Got it. We're whiteies. Heard that.
You're so white. The only closest would be Valdana, who is more of a lighter skinned. Think of, because everyone's cast in my head. She's like Zoe Kravitz. She's a lighter complexion, but from this region, you would assume or surmise. Uh, and she's kind of like looking, everyone's kind of looking around. And eventually, you kind of make it to this. The infrastructure, I would say, is not like um, huts, but it's buildings that are slightly above on stilts that you would assume would be for if tides rise and come lower. And as you're kind of walking, the girl explains to you that she believes, and she's been told by Shambo, the wizard, that they are being punished by the goddess Umberly. Go ahead, and both of you can make religious checks.
15.
18.
Okay. Both of you know of Umberly. You've never met her. You know that she's a lesser deity compared to you guys. She's more of a planar deity. Um, and you do know her by her title, which is the Bitch Queen. That is the official title of Umberly. It's fucking badass. She's known
Oh,
for
that bitch.
that old bitch. She is known for storms, tsunamis. She is a storm deity, but in where you are thunder, lightning, and rain, she is tsunamis and typhoons, and she's of the sea.
Oh, so she's not as good. Got it. Heard. That's all you had to say.
So cocky.
That's why her water tastes bad.
I'm gonna
Dude,
tell
water
him.
tastes like shit.
It's
Yeah.
like pee pee,
I wouldn't even buy it.
pee pee and poo poo. Yep, poo
Uh, and you're taking us to Shumbo now?
And she looks at you and she goes, I do apologize. Once again, you are claiming to be Thor and Loki, gods. This is above my pay grade.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand.
Shambo
So,
has been in charge of the village since coming some odd 15 years ago. He has led us to um, quite a prosperous life until, well, we're cursed. We are. I know he is working diligently, as unfortunately people are dying. Any kind of port that comes through or anyone who makes attempt, they die. I'm very confused that you are able to make it here. The ship graveyard is many ships deep.
Oh yeah, we parked our boat further out just to, avoid bad stuff.
Hopefully that will not anger Umber Lee.
Not super concerned about Umberlee for me personally, but we'll see where this goes. Uh
Mhm.
can
Question:
we
the
Yes, go ahead.
the water around the island. Perhaps it was just the shipyard, but have you noticed it? It seems off.
Yes, it is poisoned. Another curse of Umber Lee.
Ah!
Cannot fish.
Ah! And Loki will like lick Ned's scales.
Ugh.
No, that's worse. Worse.
Is there something wrong with your brother?
Oh,
so many things? Do you have time? We can go through them if you'd like.
Um, I am not going anywhere, but I feel that this is not the appropriate time.
That's fair. I should probably talk to Shumbo first.
And she kind of looks, she's very confused by this attitude because, her people are dying and you guys are coming in like cartoons. Uh, so eventually she gets you to this main town hall and you are let into this chamber. And inside is I would say he looks younger, like late 30s. He is vastly different from the rest of the tribe. And the fact that he's a white gentleman. He's very gaunt, has very thin features, uh, brown hair, beard, blue eyes. He has constant wrinkles on his forehead because he looks like he's trying to figure something out. And he has just different kinds of religious texts and paperwork. And you see him with the giant cauldron in the center, and he's mumbling to himself. He's like, "Yes, I tried this." And you see that there are three other kind of hooded figures around this cloak. Um, and go ahead and let's take a. No, we don't need that yet. Um, I was gonna do something, but we're good. And who you would assume Shambo looks up and he goes, "Oh, hello. I wasn't. Um, Sorat, were we expecting visitors? Oh my God, your ship. Oh my God, your covenant. Yes." And you see him, and he presidentations the two of you, of Jessica and Loki, as you are instant dried and cleaned. He goes, "Oh my God, and you two are fine. Very.
Yeah, I know how to fly.
shh. It's okay, Ned.
I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Shambo, the local mayor wizard man. What?
I don't. Where did you get lost?
So many places.
Perfect. Hi, I'm Thor. This is Loki. This is Creed, and that's Valdonna. Fucking Ned is outside. Um,
King Ned.
And you see Shambo, and he turns to the three hooded figures, and he goes, "Were you expecting company?" And the three kind of unlift their hoods, and you see three. They don't look human. You see a very tall, handsome Triton. He has this short, kind of cropped green hair. It looks like he has like a scar above his left eye. Very strong in the jaw. Looks like he's very muscular. Has a few piercings around the ears, and kind of like looks you up and down. It looks like he's wearing a crest on the pin of his hood. The second is more of I would say a monstrosity. Go ahead and roll nature checks for me.
is it a gabagool?
It's not a gabagool. It's Inspector Gabagool.
Inspector Gabago.
Wait, what
It's-
were we rolling? I'm sorry. Investigation.
Investigation, yes.
15.
Why can I never find it? 11.
Uh, You know what? Switch those rolls to nature rolls. Go ahead and re-roll if you want.
11.
Okay, great.
Actually, re-roll would be 16.
19.
So the two of you look at him, and he appears to be a marrow, which marrows don't normally have feet. And as you look, there is almost like a mermaid snake tail that kind of comes up. He looks like he is a gnarly, evil-looking mermaid. He has very big black doll eyes that when it blinks, it's that alligator film that goes over the eyes to re-wet it. And
Gross.
the third is shorter than the rest. Seems to be in their mid-20s, where the handsome, like, heroic man looks to be in, like, his early 30s. Mid-20s, has this very, like, golden blonde hair that's been braided back. And she looks like a Triton. However, she doesn't have the complexion of a Triton. It's more akin to human. But upon closer inspection, it looks like it's poreless. Almost like porcelain, or what you would akin to almost like dolphin skin. Something that would be able to move easily in the water. You've never seen a water elf before, but this looks like she could possibly be a water elf. And as you say your names, Thor and Loki and fucking Ned, there are visceral reactions from the males. However, the female does not look like there's nothing, as she just studies the four of you. And the gentleman is first to speak, and he goes, "No, we were not expecting company. I'm Trill," and he holds his arm out.
That was the Triton?
That is the Triton, yes.
Trill the Triton.
Trill.
I will shake Trill's hand with my not skinny arm.
With your not skinny arm. And, I mean, it's firm. He's not trying to break your arm or anything, and he's not getting
Good.
into, like, a contest with you. And he goes, "Pleasure." And the Murrow goes, "Simply, Your Majesty, you must address yourself as such. This is Prince Trill." And he goes, formalities. It's fine. Go ahead and both of you roll perception checks.
Natural 20 for a 21.
13 for a 13.
Rolling better.
Thor, you pick up on this when the Murrow speaks of he's a prince and his majesty. Trill looks very uncomfortable and keeps darting his eyes back to the Murrow.
And I'll just kind of like look at him, the Murrow, for a minute, and just kind of stare for a second. And I'm gonna shake it off. I was gonna name drop myself, but it's fine.
And puts his hands out as he notices you're looking at him. He goes, "I am Marin, the Grand Prince's Vizier." And Trill's like, "All right, Marin."
Cool.
Loki will outstretch his hand and try to shake it. Say, "I'm Loki. It is great to meet you."
Prince Loki. Prince.
"Yes,
Okay.
charmed. And these are your servants." And it is just like someone hocked a loogie into their hand, and it enveloped their entire hand. It's just mucus and membrane.
Oh, yes. These. Can I get another prestidigitation?
And you see Sherbo, and he goes, Combo, and he goes, yes, of course, sorry. And he goes, and you see Prince Trill, and he goes, "Marin, you must remind that most people do not like touching your hand because it is therefore gross." And you see him, and he kind of walks over to the corner and looks over at the girl. And then in the corner, you can see that there is It's not a trident because it doesn't have 3 spikes, but it has 7.
Septent.
And
The Septident.
the septident. And he looks at it, and then he looks over at the female. Go ahead and Thor, because you had the natural 20. Go ahead and roll another perception check.
Oh, that's still good. Is that wait? Was that okay? 17.
With your 17, he looks over at her, and when he looks over at the staff, he doesn't look comfortable again. And
Is this Trill or is it Marin?
Trill? It's Trill.
Trill doesn't. Okay. Okay.
And eventually the young lady bows her head and picks up the septid and kneels and raises it up as he picks it up. And he goes, this is Orna, chambermaid from from the kingdom.
Hello, Orna.
And you see her, and she gets up, and once again, there's something behind the eyes. You just don't know what. And she just kind of nods.
Do I get a weird feeling like she's suspicious of us, or sus herself?
Go ahead and roll an investigation, and I have to.
Terrible. 8. Got let down.
Ooh. You don't know what you're getting from her. I wouldn't say it's something uncomfortable. She's not like looking at you and staring you down and not blinking like a creepy doll.
Does she want to kiss or something? Does she want to make out? Is that?
I mean, you can ask her.
I won't do that. No, I don't want to do that. Smart. It's a good call.
He's a good boy.
So we are here. We heard you guys were having a port issue, and we're here to hopefully assist in resolving that.
Well, and you see Sherbo, and he goes, Mr. Thor, Prince Loki.
Just Thor. It's fine.
I've never seen anything like this. Within the past few months, there has been, I want to say within the last 3 or 4, there's been torrential death around this island. The water's poisoned.
Right.
Which means most of the fish and the ways that my city eats is dead. I mean, we are running very low on preserves here. And we have worked with the prince here in his kingdom to get small morsels here and there, of course, but nothing sustainable for the rest of the kingdom. We have lost within the past few months about 75 people. That's not including the many crushed ships and their crews that we can assume are more people.
That's
I don't understand why. I don't understand why Umberlee is punishing us. I don't.
Do you guys have like a line of communication directly with Umberlee, or was there like a temple to her, or?
No, Umberlee is. We don't have a temple to Umberlee. We have a makeshift shrine that we've been praying to for the past few months to ask for her blessing, and it has been nothing frugal, nothing fruitful. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's a new shrine.
Yes, new shrine.
So you didn't have one before.
We haven't needed one for hundreds of years. You pray to Umberlee, and she causes a typhoon or a tidal wave. Yes, there are casualties. Yes, it happens with any of the gods. There's always a slate clean, but there's nothing of like.
Oh, you people.
Famine.
Thor.
Poison.
So, What was going on in the tribe? What was going on in the area right before the curse happened?
I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, and you couldn't tell by it from outside, but this used to be this is a destination spot. This is a place where people come because they want to see the crystal blue waters and the pink reefs. Everything is murky and brown and green and dark. This poison started, and it's just been slowly, like a symbiote, just sucking the life out of us.
Well, first, do you have any leads about what may have caused this? Do you know anyone who's got any inkling or an idea of what this may have been caused by? Or are we just like, fuck Umberlee, she's being a bitch?
Queen.
And he gestures to the mer people, and he goes, well, we had a very loose truths with the am I saying it right, the Tunecha tribe? And Prince Troll goes, it is the Tunecha dynasty, and we stretch far further than this simple island, but quite frankly, if this thing spreads, it's a problem, and it hurts our people, my people. I've gone under the water, I've searched for a source, and I cannot get close to anything without being violently ill.
Cool.
But you know the spots where you do feel ill? Or is it everywhere?
You mean personally, or just in the water? Like,
I'm asking if, as you get closer to certain areas, is that where
a
the
centralized location.
Does the illness increase, or just going in the water makes you sick?
It is a deep nausea.
That occurs in specific areas, or in the water in general?
In the water. When I get closer to... I found a cove underneath the island. It seems to be a center point for this, but I cannot get close enough to it without being violently ill and losing motor function.
Well,
Okay.
brother, that sounds like a place to start, does it not?
I mean,
What?
do you get sick because of your body in the water? Because of I'm sorry, I don't understand. I don't know what abilities you have. I don't know if you have the ability to breathe underwater. We do not.
Yes.
Oh, so you can.
Yes, we are amphibious.
So that would probably be the cause of what's making you ill. How far down is the cove?
About how you land, say, 200, 300 meters.
Thor's just going to look up and try and do math for like a really long time.
It's like 600 feet, brother.
Still doing math.
And you see the wizard, and he goes, quite true. It is quite low there.
600 feet. It's like 600 feet.
Good job.
I mean, if the irk doesn't kill you, I mean, the pressure might. I mean, I'm sorry. Did your mom and dad just name you Thor and Loki after the, like, what what prince are you of?
Do I want to do it? I want to do it. I'm going to hold the hammer out and just be like, oh, I'm sorry. I have a crest in my jacket. Can you hold this for me? I'm going to grab it.
Oh,
And he
here
goes,
we go again.
Sure, I guess so. I'll hold.
Oh, crash.
Your hammer is very, very heavy. It's stuck.
It's not stuck.
Oof.
I'm Thor, Odin's son. This is Loki, Odin's son. We are here to help you. If you like our help, we can. If you don't, we can leave.
All of the color washes from his face as he lets go of the hammer. Go ahead and roll perception checks.
Terrible. 7.
12.
Switching dice.
Everyone seems slightly disturbed by what you've said.
Cool.
As
What?
um,
Does that bother you?
I just have a lot of okay. So we've been praying to the wrong god. Now, I just need like a minute. Can I have a minute? Am I allowed to have a minute?
You can have
Human
2.
minute. I don't know if that's the
Sure.
same as like a god minute.
I turn to look at Loki. I'm just 600 feet. It's like 600. I did all the math
Yeah,
myself.
you did that all yourself, and I'm very, very impressed.
I didn't have to do.
Sherbo is actually going to leave the room. He has like a back room,
Cool.
and as you kind of do that, Prince Trill is like, "No shit, really."
I'm sorry. What? Yeah, it is like 600 feet. I don't use the meters.
No, come on.
Loki puts his hand on Thor's chest and says, yes. For real and for true. We are who we say we are.
You hear a slight grunt as you see Orna has her hand around the handle of the hammer, and you see her attempt to. She's just testing it,
Cool.
and you just hear. And then she just kind of looks back up at you, lets go of it, and then kind of puts her hands behind her back as she's like studying it.
And I'll call it to my hand. Not like maliciously. I'm not like, don't touch my stuff.
Just
Yeah.
roll another perception check.
That was a journey. 14.
16.
You see like a slight twitch, almost like a smirk, microaggression, as it slowly goes back, like quickly fades away.
Like a happy smile or a, like, grimace?
You didn't roll high enough.
Okay.
You don't fucking know nothing.
And the eyebrow slightly, when she smirked, the eyebrow slightly went up, but it was very quick.
I can't get a read on you, Orna. I like that. And I'll turn as well and look at Prince Trill. So do you really believe that the issue with this island is centered on this cove? Do you believe that internally?
And he kind of like kneels, like gestures you, has his back to everything, and he goes, I think it's the cove, but I don't think it's what he's saying it is.
So you don't, and I'll in hushed tones as well. I'll like, if Loki's not in the huddle that we're doing, I will pull him over.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't believe it to be Umberly?
No, Umberly doesn't do this. We pray to
love her.
Yes, we pray to Umberly. You're a god, and I've seen the hammer. I can't pick it up. You can pick it up. I'm going to be very transparent in the wake of possibly just being incredibly stupid right now. What do you know about avatars?
Increasingly more every day.
And you see him, and he looks back, looks at Marin and Orna, and back to you, and he goes, We know the Avatar of Umberlian. They wouldn't do this.
Are they here?
As he says that, go ahead and both of you make dex saves at disadvantage.
Oh shit.
Ah, flick.
God, I did not think I was going to get lower, but I did.
16.
You said Dex?
Yes.
6.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
It's
that's
been
not
a
good.
hot minute, so give me one moment, please.
Pain.
Takes my pain away.
The night, just before the night, I don't know the words.
It's a great album, front to back.
I don't know who sings it.
Blink-182.
Jimmy Eat World, or that.
Some 42.
Some
Some
42.
Green Day 49.
Some Bebe.
Green 41, whatever.
69.
I
Not
love
a
Panic
lot.
at the Boys. Some 36.
So, Loki, you are going to take
Yeah.
this full damage. You're going to take 24 points of fire damage.
Fire?
Yes. While Thor, you made your save, correct?
16. I don't know.
Yes.
So
You're going to
12.
take 12. Anything that is flammable on you, Loki, is going to combust into flames. As I did not roll for Trill. Oh, we got our first botch.
No.
No.
So my guy,
Trill.
and you see him, and he just, and you see Sherbo, and you turn around, and he goes, "Fuck! This makes things go a lot. That's annoying. Okay, great." And you see him lift his hand up, and I don't know what the 7-pointed
Septident.
Septident. The Septident rises up because it was into the center where Trill was, and he had rested it onto the cauldron. It raises up and lurches for the prince's back. And as it does, Orna catches it, and she looks over at Sherbo, and we will end it for the evening.
Oh, I was getting ready to light this motherfucker up.
Put out fire. Making notes for next session.
Smart. Big smart. Okay. Cool. Wow.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a fun
Guys,
session.
that was so fun. That was a lot of RP. We got a little bit of action in there. Question to the DM before we wrap it up.
Sure.
Is this gonna take a whole nother Thor and Loki sesh? Or are we a whole okay. So
we have a fight coming up, and you still got to stop whatever the fuck's happening, right?
I love it. Guys, we will have another Thor and Loki session next week. We are literally going to be back 7 days from now.
Whoop.
Very excited. Very excited. We are excited to be back. I want to shout out my lovely wife for allowing me to play Imagination with you guys while our 4-month-old sleeps literally in the room next to me. And we are going to hopefully debut on here some of our Pride art done by Carlos. Next week, maybe we'll have it in there somewhere. We'll figure it out. But if you want to see it, check out our Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We are so happy to be back. We're so excited to be playing again. Thank you guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys all back here next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, babies.
And I was here the whole time.
Mike!
A ghost!
The ghost of Christmas half and half.